Salute, MobTube. How's everybody doing today? Let's see. We only have 11 people so far. So it might take a while. It's an addiction and recovery show. We don't get many people, but we'll see what happens. Miss Can't Be Wrong, Dave, Albaz, and Joseph Montanero. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Thank you again for earlier, Joseph. I appreciate that. Walt Liquor, what's going on, bro? Albaz is hiding in the bushes. Edward Everett, War, what's going on? Hopefully we'll get a decent turnout. All right, we're up to 24. It's not bad for an addiction recovery show at 1 minute in. We'll have hopefully the usual 80 or 90 people. And I want to ask you guys a question today. Thank you, Albaz. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, this is another polo shirt. Although it's kind of annoying me, the one shoulder. I don't know, it's like, what is it, this one? It's like pointing out a little bit. There's sticking up. I don't know what that's about, but I love the shirt. It's comfortable as hell. Joey Frakes, my man. Yeah, me too. Well, Miss Can't Be Wrong, honestly, believe it or not, my favorite color is gray. It might seem a little, gloom and doomish, but it is. But I love blue. I do love blue. Brian Bozak, what's up? Mark Giglio. How you guys doing? We got 34. All right. It's building. I'll take it. Not bad. Now I know I know what's on everybody's mind. Maybe I should wait until the crowd builds to say this, but I know what's on everybody's mind. You know, the so-called elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about the one we're trying to save, not Dumbo, a different elephant. It's not for this show. You know, we'll talk about it later. I'm going to do another show tonight. You can bet your ass. It's going to be a hell of a good one. And I'm going to respond to what took place today. I could make an initial statement right now, but I'm afraid it's going to throw the whole show off, and we're going to wind up going in the mob tube direction instead of the addiction and recovery direction. But like I said, we'll talk about it tonight. You know, just so that doesn't happen. This can't be wrong. Aldo, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We're going to try to do something positive today, and I think we'll pull it off. 43 people in the chat. Chris Capello, what's up, bro? Good to see you as always. I want to ask you guys a question and see if you can kind of help me along with today's show. It's not a complicated question, just something I want to ask, and I think it'll lead to a good discussion. Sun-grown trichome. Salute FBS, chilling and listening to the show. 16 months, no booze. Oh, wow, sun-grown. I didn't know that about you. That's awesome, bro. Congratulations. 16 months, bro. That's no easy task. That's great, man. Congrats to you. And thank you for joining us here. Oh, yeah. Albaz, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Forever Young. Hey, good to see you. 45 people. All right, we're getting there. You know me, guys. Well, I'll address this briefly, and that's it. Okay, just to get this out of the way. As some of you may know, Tony Pizza, the ex-hitman for the Gambino crime family, the tough mafia guy who did work with the Colombo and the Gambinos, or did work for, I should say, which means, you know, he killed people, according to him. He was sent to Arizona at one point with an Uzi to kill Sammy the Bull Gravano. Things like that. He's a very, very tough guy, street guy, mafia guy, without a doubt, who'd never call the cops on anyone. He called the cops today, live. Yeah. If you want to talk about giving me a gift, I wake up and I see that shit. Oh, Thank you, Tony. Tonight is going to be an amazing show. An amazing, amazing show. That's all I can say. Kevin, congratulations to all those who are maintaining to stay strong and stay clean. And for those still struggling, I hope you could find the strength to get clean. Thank you, Kevin, for the kind words. And yeah, I hope the same for everyone. Yeah, he was ratting everyone out live, I know. And what I was going to say a minute ago is because of that event taking place, you guys must know how badly I wanted to do a show as soon as possible about that situation. But I committed to doing an addiction and recovery show, and these shows are just more important. So that'll have to wait. Let me ask you guys something real quick. How do I sound? Because I finally got a little mic filter for this microphone, and I'm curious if it sounds better, worse. What do you guys think? Rick the Tank 2, what? What does that say? Hold on, guys. I'm going to listen to my own show for a second just to see how it sounds. I'm asking everybody else when I could just judge for myself. Give me 1 second. Let me listen back. Sounds good, I think. It doesn't sound distant at all, does it? Thank you, War. Yeah. Listen, man. You got to give it to me. I could have done a show at the same time today, 4 o'clock, titled "Tony Pizza's a Rat," and I could have made probably $500 on that show. But this is more important to me. There's no way I was dipping out of an addiction recovery show. My only concern was, oh, does it, War? Good. That's great to hear. That's what I wanted, a fuller sound. Good. My only concern today. Awesome, Kevin. Thanks, bro. Michael Hensley, we love you too. I keep getting distracted. My only concern for today was, same as it has been for many of these addiction and recovery shows. What exactly are we going to talk about? Because you only have so many of your own stories. I'm not a drug and alcohol counselor, so I'm not an addiction and recovery specialist. None of that. I have no degrees. None of that. So it's not always easy for me to find a topic, but that's why I got a question for you guys today, and I think it'll help walk me through this. So here's the question. What are some of the struggles that you guys have dealt with since you got clean? And what I mean is there anything you do in your lives that seems more difficult now that you don't have that crutch? Like, is there anything that you find hard to do or deal with since you can't deal with it the way you used to by just going to a drug or a drink? That's what I'm curious about. I know you guys are going to have a lot of answers for that, so I'm curious and I'm looking forward to hearing. Let's see. Matter of fact, I'll kick it off. I'll give you an example. I think it was in. Let me see. Yeah, I forget the exact year. It's not important, but there was a point in time when I had gotten clean and sober. Now I wasn't as committed to it as I am now. I was a young man. I wasn't quite ready, I don't think, whether I knew it or not, to be clean and sober forever for the rest of my life. I wasn't there yet, obviously. And I almost think I was looking for a reason to relapse because I missed drinking, specifically more than anything, drinking so much that all it took was now I was clean and sober for maybe a year, and then a girlfriend of mine actually broke up with me, and I was devastated because it came out of nowhere, as it often does with women. You'll never see it coming with a woman. A guy, he's going to break up with a girl. Chances are there was months and months and months of problems, and the guy finally got fed up and said, I got no choice but to leave. A woman could be as happy as could be on Monday, and on Tuesday hate your guts and want nothing to do with you. So I was involved in a breakup that came suddenly, and I was such an immature jerk off that I remember at first I was basically threatening her with my sobriety. Like, if you don't talk to me, if we don't work this out, I'm going to start drinking again, whatever, which is a stupid thing to do. Never do that. Chances are, if it's a woman, she don't care any fucking way. You know, she just wants to go do her own thing. So I did that at first. And then finally, I was, I guess you could say, upset enough that I felt justified in going somewhere where I knew there was a bottle stashed and cracking that bottle and getting drunk. And then that was it for my sobriety for a while, you know? So it doesn't have to be a breakup. I'll say in my case, life events. I told you guys about one point I had a very good job that I loved very much. I lost it for a bullshit reason. Um, and it was devastating to me because that job was my whole world. It was my foundation. You know, I had an apartment, just me and my daughter, and I had a vehicle and insurance and utilities and all that shit. And this job was good enough that it's all I had to do. And I had whatever I wanted because I made enough money that I could cover everything and still have a good bit of money left over every week. So when I lost that job, not to mention, I was working fucking sometimes 7 days a week, 8 hours a night. You know, it was third shift, but almost always minimum 6 days a week, 8 hours a night. So it was my world, really. Because everything, this is the way I saw it. And I still see things this way. Whatever your income is, wherever that comes from, that's your foundation. Everything else is built on top of that. You know, because without that, you don't have anything. You can't have anything without an income, you know? So when I lost that job, don't get me wrong, I wasn't perfectly clean and sober throughout my time at that job. Like I said, I had a girlfriend. We'd go out sometimes once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a month, and we would drink and have fun, and that was it. Then the next day, recover and go back to work. But I wasn't full blown addicted. I wasn't going, over the edge. And then once I lost that job, it was like I almost, as badly as I didn't want to throw my fucking life away, and I just wanted to go get another job and get back on track. I found, I guess you could say, a reason in the loss of income. Like, in other words, in my case, it wasn't doing the drugs and shit, it was selling them. Now that I don't have a job and I'm finding it difficult to find another one, I better go back to just hustling because I need to make money. And then, boom, a guy like me, once he has powder cocaine in his hands again, he's going to use it. And especially um, when you're selling it, because you have it all the time. You never run out, you know? So I fell hard, deep into addiction after that, So is it? My question is for you guys: is it things like is there a place you go that depresses you? That maybe it was somewhere you used to go with someone you love, and now you don't have that person, and the memories make you sad, make you want to use, or is there a place you used to go where you used to drink all the time? And now you can't even go near that place. Anything, whatever it is, guys, or if it's just something that you struggle with now, that you're not used to struggling with without alcohol alcohol and drugs, whether it be relationship issues, family issues, financial stress, anything like that, job stress. You guys tell me. Let me see. There's a fly in here. Mark Giglio, what are you referring to? Are you doing that right now, or are you saying you missed that? What's all new, people, Albaz? Maybe there's a conversation going on that I'm not privy to. Nope, my ex got divorce papers and was shocked. Oh yeah, well listen, that's how it goes. Women ain't gonna tell you shit a lot of the time. I remember one of the biggest breakups of my life. Literally, um, it happened within 2 days. One day, I asked, "Are you happy?" Is that because we had to move? A bunch of stuff took place, and I said, "I just want to know if you are. Are you happy? You happy with the way everything's going in our lives?" She said, "Yeah, I couldn't be more happy. Everything's perfect." And I'm not going to say what reason she gave me, but she mentioned a bunch of things and how all those things are going so well. She couldn't be happier. The next morning, the next morning, she said, "I'm done." I said, "Really? Wow." What the fuck happened? That's women. Women will save shit up for years. You ever get in a fight with a woman? I don't want to get off topic here, but you ever get in a fight with a woman and she'll bring up some shit you did 12 years ago, some crazy shit like that you don't even fucking remember doing, but she didn't get mad at you when you did it. She just saved it. She's mad at you now, or she's using it as a reason for something she's done. Let's see, Dave. I found it hard at first going to like parties, family events because I had always taken Vicodin at all events. Holidays too. I'm past that now. Ah, there you go. It's exactly the type of answer I was looking for. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I know absolutely what you're saying. I think it's got to be like that for every recovering addict. Like for example, I used to love for every big boxing match or UFC event. There was a bar in York City me and my friends went to watch those events, and sometimes it wasn't even that place, but it was somewhere. It might have been Aruga's. It might have been, this place in York called the Waterway. It might have been. Where's the other place we went from time to time? But we usually went to the Waterway. Okay, it's a place in York City, and like I said, the location doesn't matter because it was just the act of going to a bar to watch these fights and shit. Which in most cases, if you're going to go see something like that, it's going to be in some sort of uh, drinking environment. I guess you'll say, um, and that obviously, at least in my case, is no longer an option. You know what I'm saying? Like I miss it. Like I had a friend named Jake. I loved this dude, man. Me and Jake were like brothers. He died, unfortunately. Um, right after I got out of the hospital with my heart thing. But me and him used to always go watch these fights together and shit. And now it's like every time one of these fights is on, I'm not the type of dude. The fight over the weekend last weekend, that was one thing that was huge. I wasn't gonna miss it. But well, wait, yeah, just this past Saturday, yeah. But the UFC events and all that, I ain't paying for that shit to watch at home. No fucking way. You know what I mean? So I do miss being able to just get up, go pay $10 cover charge at some fucking bar, and then get wasted while we watch the fight. I miss the excitement, everybody yelling and screaming, and rooting for their guy, whatever it may be. But I can't do that shit anymore. I just can't. That's why. There's another reason why. Um, Me and Shannon would go to a casino a lot when we would go out because I never, ever, ever drank at casinos. Never. And I'll tell you why. Because I was never in an area where casinos were around me. I never lived in Atlantic City or Vegas or nothing like that. It's a new thing. It's only in the last few years that casinos are popping up just anywhere. So I would have to drive far. Even when there was one relatively close, it was an hour away. There's no way I was going to a casino drinking and fucking driving home. There's no fucking way. You know what I mean? I just wasn't risking it, especially with my DUI record. So it would be nothing for me, even with the lady coming around with the cart, because it's not like Atlantic City casinos where she has a tray and she asks for your order, and then 45 minutes later she brings you your drink. In the casino here in York City, well, in York, um, it's a girl that comes around with a cart constantly, and she's got wine, beer, and fucking sodas and water and shit. But even with that, it doesn't even bother me. Like I could have somebody on either side of me drinking. I could smell the alcohol in their breath and every fucking thing while I'm playing a slot or something, and it doesn't even affect me. You know what I mean? Because that's nothing. It's not something I ever did under the influence of anything. I did it rarely throughout my life, and when I did, I was completely clean and sober. But yeah, I'll tell you what, Dave. Family events, not so much, because at family events, I didn't. I never had family who were drinkers ever. My dad was. I told you I might have seen him. I saw him drunk once in my life. I might have seen him drink a beer here and there throughout my lifetime. I'm talking about if it was once a year, it was a lot. My mom, same thing. My mom likes to taste the cold beer, but she won't drink um, uh, often. She never has her whole life because of the way she grew up. I'm not going to get into that. Around a lot of alcoholics, but my mom, because she likes to taste the cold beer, every once in a while, like once a year, once every couple of years, she would get like a cold Heineken from like my brother or something and drink like a quarter of it just for the taste of it. But never saw my mother under the influence of anything. She never did drugs in her life, never even smoked weed, and just wasn't a drinker. So I never had family events where there was drinking. I mean, never. Even in my relationships, when I would celebrate holidays and stuff with my girlfriends' families or whatever, never really any drink. Well, I mean, one here and there, of course, but it was never really like that. For me, it's more like social gatherings, like bars and nightclubs and shit like that. Those are things. First of all, I don't miss it all, simply because I made a living in bars and nightclubs for 7 years. And let me tell you, when you're spending 4 nights in there, and well, some people like it. I don't like large groups of people. That's why I was very comfortable in my DJ booth and not in the crowd. I was never a big bar or nightclub guy for the most part. I went to bars, like I said, things like sporting events and shit. Um, but I don't miss that shit. I do not miss that scene at all. After my DJ career ended, even at times when I was using heavy, I didn't really hang out at bars. I had no desire to. I don't like people, and I don't like cops. And I knew that I was very likely to be pulled over leaving a bar wasted. So, that's the only events I really attended where there was a lot of drinking, or venues, whatever you want to say. But I dealt with a lot of shit in my life by drinking it away. I used to say there's two types of people: the types of people who think things away, and the type of people who drink things away. I was the type of person who would drink things away. Any horrible event took place, a tragedy, even a very very high stress situation, I would handle it with booze and some coke, whatever. You know. So, uh, as for the question I asked, my answer for myself would mostly be, um, like I said in the beginning, bad things taking place. That I was used to handling with alcohol and drugs. Uh, I know bad things are going to happen in the future. We're all going to lose people in our lives, stuff like that. Um, we all fear those situations in general, but if you're an addict, you also fear those situations, not just because of how terrible they are, but because of how you might handle them. And I don't sit here and say, "Oh, I'm unbreakable. Nothing could make me take a drink ever again." No, God forbid, I don't want to think about it, but God forbid if something terrible happens, I can't tell you that I'm not going to go get all fucked up. I can't tell you that that's not going to lead to a years long relapse. I have no fucking idea. I told you guys, I'm the first to say, I've had it easy. My sobriety has been easy. A lot of people can't say that. So that would be the answer for me. And Dave, thank you for sharing. Well, liquor for me, it's social events like parties or going out with groups of people. I don't do it at all as much. I had a lot of false confidence when I drank. I think I have anxiety now. Walt liquor. Ah, shit. You know what? I understand that completely, bro. I'll tell you, you know what worked for me, Walt Liquor, as far as the anxiety of being around groups of people, because I was the same type of way, bro. I was a fairly shy person, unless I had some alcohol in me, you know. But you know what did wonders for me is this: the fact that every time I'm on here, I'm talking to hundreds of people, and then I know that thousands of people are going to see it after that. Now, when I'm in a crowd, you know what I mean? Like, no matter where I am, I strike up conversations. I'm as friendly as could be, sociable. You know what I mean? But I used to be the same way, man. And yeah, as far as going out with groups of people and going to events like parties, I mean, what's the fucking point? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, for example, Shanna had a friend who just I think last week or the week before had invited us to go to Puerto Rico with her and her fiance. Okay, now me and Shanna are all about going to Puerto Rico with beach people, you know, all that shit. Um, but they're a drinking couple. That's what they do when they go out, you know. So what are, first of all, it's not even whether we're bothered by it. People who drink can't stand people who don't. It's no fun for them. They want people around them to be drunk too. So it's like, yeah, we would have loved to take that trip, but is there really any point? I mean, we're just going to have to go our separate ways while we're there, and you guys do what you want to do, and we'll go do what we want to do, because that's not our scene, you know. I could see where people with alcohol problems would struggle. So many occasions in life, people drink to celebrate. Oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anything. Like I said, drinking is when you're an addict, specifically an alcoholic. Everything is a good reason to drink. Everywhere you go, every time of the day, every fucking event that takes place, every tragedy, every celebration, it doesn't matter. You go to a wedding, you drink. You go to a funeral, you drink, at least afterwards. You know, you get a raise at work, you go out and celebrate with a drink. You get fired from work, you go out and cry in your beer at the bar. You know, no matter what. No matter what. That's how it is. When you're an alcoholic, I told you they asked me that question in drug and alcohol counseling. When is a good time to drink when you're an alcoholic? And some people, everybody gave a specific reason, and I said, always, always. You know, or maybe he said what was a good reason to drink, and I said any reason, something to that extent. But yeah, that's how it is, man. That's how it is. There is the National Addiction Hotline. Thank you for sharing that, Miss Can't Be Wrong. She's on her P's and Q's. Let me get on mine. There you go. I got that on the bottom now. Please write those numbers down, guys. Very important. Very, very important, guys. Coming to Florida with happy hour at every restaurant is not easy. It's like the whole state is on vacation. Mark, you ain't got to tell me, bro. Now, I'm sure, you know, you live there. I don't. But just visiting, holy fuck, bro. Every single place you go, every place you go, it's just a fucking party all the time. You know, at least where you know, I'm not sure not the whole state is like that, but as far as vacation, um, you know, Miami, everything's about drinking. Fort Lauderdale, everything's about drinking. Even if you go to just a regular restaurant, like in Fort Lauderdale, like along Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard, which is where we would go a lot to eat. You know, with everything facing the water, beautiful area. Any restaurant you pick, outdoors, indoors, no matter what, every fucking buddy has got big, crazy fucking drinks. People, you know, they're serving everybody trays full of these fucking mixed drinks and cocktails and margaritas and all kinds of shit. You're like, wow. Then a place like the Hard Rock, holy! I told you guys that was the one time where I was like, oh, where I actually almost wanted to drink. When we were in those pools outside the Hard Rock, and those fucking half naked cocktail waitresses are walking around, um, bringing people trays of pitchers of these big ice cold fruity ass mixed drinks. I was like, I even looked at Shan. I was like, oh, that was the only time where I was like, because you miss stuff like that. You miss being able to be a regular person. It's like, wow, look at all these people who could do that. They could sit out here in the sun, whether they're in the pool or just laying poolside, whatever. They got their drinks and they're feeling good and they're all celebrating. But it's you got to remember that those are normal people, and we are not. I know it hurts to say, but we are not. Once you become an addict, you're not a normal person. Just like a normal person can eat peanuts all day, but a person with a peanut allergy can't. And we got to look at our addiction. We got to look at alcohol and drugs as something we have an allergy to, something we're allergic to. You know what I mean? They can do it. Good for them, but we can't. Because when they do it, they have a few drinks and go about their day. Nothing changes. When we do it, if we start drinking in a pool at noon, we end up leaving a bar at 2 or 3 in the morning, wasted off of our asses, possibly doing something stupid like driving home, then waking up the next day not knowing what the fuck happened the night before because you were in a blackout half the fucking night, and then you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Which, if you're an alcoholic like I was, every time you got wasted, you did something stupid that you had to pay for once you woke up and were sober for any period of time. So we're not normal people. It sucks, but it's true, you know. But I will say this though: there's a benefit to being like that. There absolutely is. Like for me, for example, um, I don't. I don't need that crutch anymore. I've learned to live without it. See, even normal people, normal people who can drink and just be okay, and they don't black out, they don't become physically addicted, they don't do stupid shit when they're drunk. Even they, to an extent, rely on alcohol and stuff as some sort of crutch. Like we said, you can't even celebrate without having a drink. You can't be sad without having a drink. You can't, you know what I'm saying? And they can pull it off, but still, it's still somewhat of a crutch to people who always find a good reason to drink, whether they're alcoholics or not. So and more importantly than that, because maybe I didn't say that the way I wanted to, or maybe it came out wrong. Um, it's not something we need or even desire to do anymore. At least some of us. Some people who are alcoholics, they'll always feel the desire to drink or the temptation, something like that. But I know for me, I'm lucky enough now that when little shit happens, like if I'm having a bad month on here, I don't make much money, I don't feel like going to have a drink. You know what I mean? If there's a big fight on, um, I'm not going to go to a bar to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So you learn to live without alcohol as if it doesn't even exist. And, I think that's beneficial. Sleep was a big problem once I got clean. It took years to get normal sleep again. Yeah, you know what, Joseph? It was for me many, many times when I got clean and sober. But this last time, like I said, I had this amazing doctor, Dr. Rob, at the rehab I was in, and he prescribed me a couple of different things, gabapentin, and which they give to most recovering alcoholics, and trazodone. And I'll tell you what, uh, my only issue with sleep now is uh, quite often I wake up a lot throughout my sleep. Like, say I go to sleep at 3 in the morning, I'll wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. until I'm like, okay, fuck it, I'm just getting up. But going to sleep is no problem. And for the most part, like last night, great sleep. So I know that some people have problems taking medications, or even if they get clean and sober, they feel like maybe they don't want to take anything. Period. But sleep is essential. Trust me. I had a doctor tell me once when I wasn't sleeping enough that I won't have to worry about anything soon because I'll be dead if I keep sleeping 3 fucking hours a day. Sleep is essential, man. And none of these things are going to have you addicted. They're not going to put you in any altered state of mind or have you under the influence. Things like trazodone, gabapentin. Reach out to your doctor if you still have problems sleeping and get that shit. I'm telling you, because if the doctor says it's okay for you, everybody's situation is different, but it's a lifesaver. I had insomnia my entire fucking life except for these last few years, and I think it's because of that shit. You know. Alt liquor in my area. In my area, bundles of dope were $60 to $80. That same bundle an hour north in Brattleboro, Vermont, went for over $200. That was hard to stop for some people. Yeah. You mean? Wait a minute. Are you saying because it was so cheap where you were, or are you saying like where my hustling mind goes to is, well, if I was getting bundles for 60 to 80 and an hour away they're 200, then I'm going to buy as many bundles as possible and I'm going to post up an hour away and make a fortune. So I'm not sure if you mean that it was hard to stop because they were so cheap, or if you were hustling maybe and you always had it in your possession. uh, Let me see. War, honestly, any tough situation. After facing it a bit, the thought of drinking or taking something pops into my head. Just do a little to take the edge off is the temptation. Oh, yeah, 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 of course. Of course. And there's that bargaining that goes on too. I did that myself. Like something fucked up would happen and it would be like, well, I just drink a little bit and then I won't drink at all again, or I'll wait the X amount of time until I drink again or whatever. Um, yeah, I mean, let me see. And yeah, the thought, uh, forever, I'm sure, will be there. The temptation, like anytime something tough happens, you're gonna at least consider it, or think about it, or think about, wow, how much easier would this be if I did go? How much easier would this be to get through if I just went and had a few drinks? Or used some type of drug. Yeah, yeah. Did you look for people not in recovery, or were you drawn to those who are? I'm not sure what you mean, Albaz. In what situation? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Kevin, I think that's what makes opioid addiction so powerful, because any stresses and or depression just goes away. You immediately feel better and can care less about any heartaches. Well, Kevin, I'll tell you what, as you know, I have no experience with opioids whatsoever, but um, I've heard people describe it like a warm blanket covering your body and everything just goes away, things like that. So I can only imagine how hard it must be to even go through daily life after a long period of time using that stuff, and then just no longer having it, to depend on, or as a crutch, or to help you get through shit. Yeah, I can't even imagine how tough that must be. That's why I say I believe that specific addiction, opioid addiction, has to be the most difficult, um, as far as not relapsing, or even you know keeping your clean time for as long as possible, because that thought is always there, I think. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Right, and if you aren't drinking, you don't want to hang out at a bar. No. Oh, my yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go, Mike. That's the fucking place. That's the place I was gonna say. Yeah, yeah. Maruga's, Buffalo Wild Wings, or this place, the Waterway in New York City. Yeah, absolutely. Um, but yeah, Miss can't be wrong. I That's another reason I won't do it. Even if I could go to a bar and just hang out, watch a fight, I fucking can't stand drunk people. I know that sounds crazy because I was a drunk, but I can't stand. I don't want to be around a rowdy drunk motherfuckers unless I'm drunk too. I just don't want to. Uh, Hooters is better. I never went there to. Well, you mean to watch a fight or just for food? The Sit Down a Crime History podcast. Bam Margera family said that he's hooked on meth and on the run from the cops. What a sad state of affairs. Hope he gets help. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, Jeff, because I watched some stuff about him yesterday. He is truly um it's a sad situation. The dude had the world by the fucking balls just for acting like a douchebag on MTV. This guy's I think at one point he was worth $50 million. I know you guys might not believe that, but look it up. Look it up. Because of those jackass movies and all the TV shows and shit. Fucking multi millionaire. Could have lived off that money for the rest of his life without ever doing another thing again to earn money, you know? Could have retired at fucking 30 something. But the last few years, man, if you watch him on the Dr. Phil episode he was on, and his family, trying to get him help on that show. And, oh my God, what a fucking disaster. And they had to kick him off the last Jackass. They had to, eliminate him from the cast and stuff just because of his addiction issues. He's been falling apart for fucking years. It's so sad to watch. Such a talented dude. And I'm not talking about the corny jackass shit. I'm talking about the guy was a professional skateboarder. I think he's a musician of some type too, isn't he? Had a fucking beautiful wife. And just threw it all away, But it's not even. We know how addiction is. It's not like he's making a conscious decision to do that. So when you understand addiction, it's even more sad. And now, he just beat up some people in his house or threatened their lives. And now, as of yesterday, the day before, he's on the run. It's crazy. And he's only, he lives, I don't know, maybe an hour or so away from me. Tops, if that. I fucking, matter of fact, the news broadcast that they did on him the other day, they were at a skate park right by his house. And I've been to that skate park several times in Westchester. I know exactly where they were at. An ex of mine, her sister went to Westchester University, and we went and ate. Bam actually owns. He's either the full owner or part owner of a restaurant in Westchester, and we went and ate there and stuff. When we were there, it's really a shame, man. Yeah, he's been in a bad way for a long time. He's fucking. It's heartbreaking, man. His wife, this fucking gorgeous woman who could have any fucking man on the planet. The way she was fighting for him, and like it's, and still, it goes to show how terrible addiction is, and how strong it is. I mean, you look at a guy who's made tens of millions of dollars just acting like a jackass on TV. He's also a professional skateboarder. And I think a musician, like I said, I'm not quite sure about that. And even if he's not, forget that, whatever. I might be thinking of someone else, the musician thing. But from these things in his life, he has gained a mansion to put his family in. He's gained, like I said, tens of millions of dollars. He gained an absolutely drop dead gorgeous wife, um, fame, you name it. Anything the guy wants. He's driving around in Lamborghinis. He's fucking got all the money in the world and nothing but a bright future ahead of him. And he's still, even to keep all that in his life, he just can't stop or has no desire to. That's how strong addiction is that addiction will trick your brain into believing that the substances you are using are somehow more important than all these, and I hate to use the word, I'm an atheist, but you know what I mean when I say it, blessings he has in his life, all the luck he has had, all the good things that have come to him for whatever reason. His addict brain is telling him, no, you don't need all that. Fuck that. You need me. Whatever substance it is, this is what you need. Truly a shame. And now we watched this guy's family on TV for years. Your mother seems like a sweetheart. Dad is a big, goofy, lovable guy. And I think he hit his father and threatened his life. And I think he threatened his mother, a couple of different things. And now he's on the run. I mean, but you know what the bottom line is in a situation like that? The best thing that can happen to Bam, and this is going to be an issue because he has so much fucking money still. The best thing that can happen to him is a long jail sentence or prison sentence. For real. But we'll see. I can be around people drinking. To me, it isn't a problem. I'm just not that gregarious without alcohol, sort of a dud, I guess. Yeah, I can too. Yeah. As far as being around people drinking, I mean, I don't like drunk people, like I said, but like when we met with Tina and Tony, they had drinks when we were sitting at dinners and stuff. Other people we've hung out with, they might drink right in front of us. I personally don't care, and I tell people, don't feel like as if you can't. You're not doing anything wrong by doing that. Like some people will even say, "Do you mind?" And no. I'm not gonna fucking have you thinking that because you're with my sober ass that you can't enjoy yourself. Go right ahead. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. You know. I that's another reason. Like going on a trip with a couple of heavy drinkers is not appealing to me because I don't want to rain on your parade. I don't want you to feel like you can't have the maximum amount of fun just because I'm there and Shanna's there and we're both clean and sober. Fuck that. So in the face of grief or depression, I don't wish to die before my time. And don't want to go out like others in my life have, so I stay sober. Well, fucking said, War. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Look, I've said it a million times. I don't know what I'm going to die from or when, but I'm not going to have any drugs or alcohol in my system when it happens. That's the only promise I can make. Will my death be because of my drug and alcohol addiction? In my case, most likely. Because my drug and alcohol addiction played a big part in the health issues I have today. But you know what? All I can do is make sure that there's no substances in my body that don't belong there, you know? And my family can at least know that. Really? I heard he went to Europe to get cleaned, back into skating and getting into shape, and obviously must have relapsed. Yeah, he fucked up, man. He fucked up. Joseph Montanaro, being around shit doesn't bother me. I rather not, but doesn't bother me. I drive past the area that I used to cop every day. No issue for me. Yeah, same with me, Joseph. Not. There was no specific area where I used to cop, but I still talk to some of my old connects, and I drive around and walk around that city almost every single day, and I see old people, places, and things, and you know what I mean. There's memories, but it doesn't bother me at all. At all. I don't feel like I'm tempted because I'm near a house where I used to go grab 2 ounces a week at or something. You know what I mean? Or because I'm driving past the bar that I used to drink at. The only place that really bothers me is that fucking hotel. When I drive past that place, sometimes I'm off in Chris's world and I don't even realize it. But when it occurs to me that, oh shit, this is this fucking piece of shit that I spent 8 months in, that it depresses me a little bit. It doesn't make me want to use anything. It just because that was, I'll say, almost nothing but bad memories. It was a very, very difficult time. Not just because of the drug and alcohol use, because that was up until my last month or so there, that was somewhat under control, meaning that I only drank and stuff if I had a couple of days off, except for I did tell stories. There was days where what I would do is I worked third shift. So when I'd get home back to the hotel in the morning after work, I would do a couple bumps, whatever I'd eat, and I'd go to sleep. I could sleep on cocaine. I was, you know what I mean? Then when I would wake up, I would do a couple, and then I'd do a couple more before I go to work. And if I start to get, a little shaky or I start geeking, then I might go get some alcohol. And if I did, that was it. I wasn't going to work. But other than that, I would only drink at certain times. I had the coke. When I say under control, I mean, if you're not drinking with cocaine and you're doing it the way I was, you can do cocaine 24 hours a day and nobody will ever know. It won't affect anything that you're doing, decision making processes, anything. It's just like taking your medicine that you might take every day. I would just do coke throughout the day. It didn't affect me. But when you mix your poisons, the cocaine and the alcohol, or if I started taking some Xanax so I could do a little more coke, and some shit like that, insane. But a lot of bad memories in that fucking hotel, man. A lot of bad memories. Yeah, I don't like being around there anymore. I honestly wish they'd tear the fucking place down because that hotel has been a goddamn. You don't know how many horrible things happened to me in my life in that fucking hotel. I'll give you an example. My first drug bust. Uh, I was at that hotel. Me and my friend JR got a couple of girls, went to that hotel, okay, and got a room, and we did our thing with these chicks, whatever, right? Um, Everybody left, and apparently they couldn't wake me up. I was fucking in a coma from how much I drank and shit the night before. The cops burst in, okay, because I'm there way past checkout time, and they wake me up. I'm in bed completely fucking naked. You know what I mean? They throw my clothes to me. I get dressed. Um, the room was in my friend JR's name. I'm not gonna say JR's last name, of course, but they said, "Oh, you're JR so and so. You have a warrant for." It was some bullshit. It was like a little bench warrant, nothing. So, or wait, did I tell them? Maybe I told them I was JR. No. I think they just assumed. I forget. Yeah. I think they assumed because that's whose room the name or that's whose name the room was in. Um, anyway, regardless of how it happened exactly, I was like, no. I'm not. I'm fucking Chris Lodrago. That's not me. I don't have a warrant. Well, when they ran my name, fuck that little bench warrant JR had when they thought I was him. No. All of a sudden, it's a felony warrant from the Drug Task Force. So I'm like, oh, fuck me. So they arrested me on the spot. It was 10 months before or some shit that I made the sale. And it was an ongoing investigation. And luckily, I was smart enough after the first setup. I knew something went wrong because the way they pulled me over after the buy and said that I had a flickering taillight, and I didn't. They were just trying to get my license to ID me so they could say that I was the guy in that car who sold that shit to the CI. Um, Once that happened, I was smart enough never to deal with him again. He started calling me for coke, guns, you name it. And every time I would tell him, yeah, I'll meet you at the same place. And then I'd never show up. And I'd get a kick out of it because I knew most likely him and the drug task force were waiting there and I was never coming. Anyway, 10 months after that sale, I get arrested at this fucking hotel. And man, what a fucking nightmare. It had to be 90 fucking degrees out, okay? And they take me out and they sit me in the cop car until the constable gets there, okay? Now, in the cop car, it was cool. There was air conditioning, wasn't that bad. Now, I was dressed because the night before it was a little chilly, so I had like a long sleeve, like polo type shirt on. I had jeans and Timberlands, okay? Uh, when the constable gets there, they put me in the constable's SUV. And the constable is out fucking around with the cops for well over an hour, making phone calls, talking to them, whatever. No air conditioning in the fucking SUV. I was fucking dying. I swear to God, I thought I was going to die in there. And I'm handcuffed, and there's nothing I can do. It's fucking insane. Just the worst. And other things happen at that hotel, too. Oh, my God. For a lot of reasons. That hotel was like, when we were teenagers and shit, you get a telly, you do a hotel party, whatever. We would do those every weekend with crazy shit. After homecoming, we'd rent out like 7 or 8 fucking rooms, all next to each other, and we would just party, shit like that. You know what I mean? But a lot of bad fucking memories there. I don't like driving past that place. DZ, $10. I am enjoying the show. Thank you. Well, thank you. That makes me happy, and I appreciate the $10. I'm glad you're enjoying it, bro. I didn't know how it was going to go today. You take gabapentin and trazodone? Yeah, Miss can't be wrong. And you're not even a recovering addict, so you know. Because they like to act like it's, like we're still on something. No. Um, a lot of people take that combo, and it's a fucking lifesaver. Trazodone used to give me a side effect too, OC. Now, I don't know if you know what trazodone is known for. Luckily, the last time they put me on it, I haven't had the issue at all. But back in the day, and I'm not going to get into what it was, but it was a terrible side effect that made me have to stop taking it. You know, it's hilarious. For anybody who knows what it is. Bro, my friend who turned me onto this channel is blocked. Why? What's his name? Terry? Terry Washington. Why would Terry be blocked? I thought Terry was a good guy. Oh, fuck me. What are the chances of me finding him right now and I'm blocking him? I'm only gonna spend about 2 minutes doing this, guys, because I don't want anybody to miss this. If you know what I mean, it's an addiction recovery show. Let me try to find Terry real quick. If I can't, I'll have to figure out how to unblock him later. If you saw how this list was put together, the way they do this, like the block list, there's maybe a couple of hundred names, but you might have 300 or 400 other people blocked that it isn't showing you. You have to eliminate a bunch of those names, delete a bunch of those people off the block list to find the other people. So sometimes once somebody's blocked, there's nothing I can do about it except for unblock every single person. But let me try to. I don't know why you StreamYard fucking did it this way. I really don't. What am I looking? What the fuck? Hold on. Just give me 1 second, guys. Try to find Terry. It's crazy. Why is Terry fucking blocked? I think I remember too. I think Terry used to be in green. Let me see. I can't find him. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do it later. I apologize, Terry. I don't know how that happened. Let's see. What I meant, it was hard to stop doing dope when the bundles were such a fast flip. Those are big margins. That's what, yeah, okay, that's what I thought you meant. It led me to an enormous habit. Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I said that. Did you mean because you were hustling and you always had it on you because you were flipping? Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure that's tough. That's the same thing, with coke. Like, I would make so much money off of cocaine that it was so impossible for me to just say, okay, the only way for me to stop is to stop selling it. The only way for me to stop using it is to stop selling it. And in order to stop selling it, I have to just take a fucking life changing loss of income. It's just easier to keep going, unfortunately. It's sad. It's the wrong choice, don't get me wrong, but that's how we see things, especially when, besides, when you're an addict, you're looking for reasons to keep going. So the reasons to continue using are always better to you than the reasons that are there for quitting. You don't realize how fast it happens. You start partying, having fun, and before you know it, no more fun. It's a habit. Yeah, it's like basketball diaries. Remember? He talked about how his habit grew. It went from once a week to weekends and blah blah. What did he say? He had certain lingo for what he was saying. I can't remember though. Albert, it was. It was. Ryan Dunn dying destroyed Bam. Yes, it definitely played a huge part in it. Yep, for sure. And he's even said that. He's even said that. Yep. Albaz, I can't stand being around gamers. They're obsessed. You might as well leave. They can't sit and conversate. It's all gaming, usually weed involved. Gamers. So what does this have to do? Uh, hmm. Try to figure this out. I guess you're just saying that, and it's not supposed to be addiction and recovery related. But I'll tell you what though, I believe gamers are addicted to gaming, so it's not much different. It's not much different. You see these videos of people that'll fucking start breaking their furniture if they fuck up on a game, or they'll kids who will fucking be screaming and cursing at their fucking parents because they took their fucking World of Warcraft away or whatever the fuck it, Call of Duty, whatever. Like, yeah, I think it's insane and ridiculous. I'm not judging anyone, but I'm going to be honest with you. If you're a grown man and you spend a lot of time playing video games, there's something wrong with you. I'm not being a dick. I mean, not like if you do it at night, you play a couple hours every night. I'm talking about if you're stuck in a room where you're playing video games all fucking day, or even if just all of your free time is taken up playing video games, there might be something wrong with you. You might have a serious addiction. That's not normal for a or you might just be mentally, a little fucked up. There's nothing normal about a grown man being that obsessed with video games. There's nothing. I'll tell you the truth. I loved, oh my God, back in the day, every Grand Theft Auto game there was, I fucking beat it and mastered it. I loved them. I would play Vice City even after I beat the fucking game all the time. Just fuck around with the cheat codes, get the parachute, fly up to buildings, all do all types of different shit. Go up on a building, shoot at cop cars, all that crazy shit, right? But I would do it only, if like say when I'd get back from DJing 2 something in the morning, I wasn't drinking or anything really, and my daughter and my girlfriend were asleep, stuff like that. I'd play for a couple of hours, but now it's uh, like I got a PS5 just sitting here. We've used it once, and it was to watch a DVD. And I've thought about getting some games and stuff, but I don't I can't imagine where I'd find the time, and I'm not even somebody who goes to work every fucking day. So I can't imagine people who work how they do it. I can't imagine it. I don't know. But gamers, yeah, gamers they get obsessed. It's crazy. Not all of them, but many of them. Yeah, I know, Ryan, yeah. Fellow Paisan. Yep, I hope he does too. Great parents, Walt Licker, absolutely. The kid had everything. He had the world by the balls. But it's hard for me or any of us to just judge him because we know that we've destroyed things in our lives too due to our addiction. So, listen, you got to hold people responsible for what they do, but when they are severely addicted to something, you can't hold them exactly as responsible as you could if they were completely clean and sober, because it's literally a conscious decision versus almost an unconscious decision. You know what I mean? It's a fucking it's like you're not in the right state of mind when you're clean and sober. You're making decisions with a clear head. You're making choices. You're prioritizing things with a clean head. When you are severely addicted to one substance or multiple substances, and you're constantly under the influence, we can't just look at you and be like, "What a fuck up." We could say, "What a fuck up for ever getting addicted to drugs," I guess. But for the shit you do while you're in the depths of severe addiction, at least I can't just judge you like that. I've always said the same thing with drinking and driving. I give you an example. Like, they will tell you, like my second DUI, I refused the blood test, right? Which was stupid because I wasn't even drunk. No lie. I was just, you could smell it on me from the night before. I might have had a buzz or something, but I didn't even really drink that day. I should have just took the fucking blood test, but I didn't because I had a car the car they pulled me over in had a couple of ounces of, or I'm sorry, 18 grams of coke, I think, and 2 380s, something like that. So I just wanted to, you know, get the fuck out of there in any way, shape, or form, or get them to take me out of there before they search the car, something. So I refused. Okay. So they told me I have to sign this paper saying that I refuse. Okay. And I would actually love to argue this in court, and I should have back then. They made me sign a paper saying that I refuse to take a blood alcohol test, whatever the fuck it is. Okay. Uh, Blood test to measure the amount, you know what I'm saying, of alcohol in your system. So I remember thinking, so if I sign this paper, I'm admitting, because in PA it comes with a license, okay? If you're pulled over and you're suspected of drinking and driving, and they ask you to do a breathalyzer or any of that, you have to do it. You just have to, or they'll take your license. It's part of the agreement, basically, when you get a driver's license, that if you don't do these things when it's requested of you, you lose your license. Okay. So they told me that day, if I refuse the blood alcohol test, whatever, they will take my license for a year, and I'll have to sign this paper saying that I refused, and I'll be charged with the highest DUI, the highest tier DUI, a third tier DUI, because they're just going to make the assumption that they would find the highest level of alcohol in your blood, so that they could charge you with the highest DUI, right? So I remember thinking after it happened, wow. So I'm too drunk to drive, according to you, but I'm not too drunk to make this legal decision. Like when I signed this paper, if I was too drunk to operate a vehicle, I should absolutely be able to argue that I was too drunk to understand what I was signing. But that's not how the law works. It works in their favor, not yours. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so that's what I don't get. They'll tell you you're too drunk to make all these decisions. Drunk driving at all? Wait a minute. I know I wasn't supposed to be drunk driving, but I was drunk. It didn't even occur to me that I was breaking the law. You know what I'm saying? That shit does not matter. It should, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Frankie DeChico, hey, I got here late, but I read where they had an intervention for him, but his current girlfriend blew it up because if he went to treatment, she would have no place to stay. Also, his ex-wife was open to him. Yeah, I don't know. Let me get down here. Wait, what's this about? Let's see. What the F? Do you think it's different when people are drinking alcohol around you because it's socially acceptable? Would it be harder for you to be around the line of Coke? I think I understand your question here. Uh, yes. The answer is absolutely yes. Yeah, if I have not been in a situation where I've been around people doing cocaine, or having cocaine laid out somewhere, and fucking offering it to me, anything like, I have not. So, and yes, if you were to ask me, Chris, are you more likely to go in a bar and have a drink, or go somewhere private and do a line of cocaine? The obvious, honest answer would have to be, you know what I mean, the line of cocaine. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And I'll tell you a lot of the reason why is depending on who you are and why you're sober. Now, for me, I'm sober for me, and I'm sober for my family. I choose to be. But a lot of people in this situation would take the line of coke simply because uh, it's easier to get away with. The reason I say it's harder for me, or I'm sorry, it would be more likely for me to do the coke, is because I'd say the main reason, I've been around alcohol probably, I don't know, a couple of hundred times since I got clean and sober, whether it's going to restaurants, and being right near a bar, whether it's sitting at dinner with people who are drinking, whether it's being at some event where there's a lot of drinking going on, whether it's being at the casino where there's alcohol everywhere around you. I've been tested hundreds of times, and only a couple of times have I felt a temptation. Cocaine, I haven't been tested like that. I haven't been tested. And yes, because my preference was always cocaine. I mainly drank so I could do more cocaine. That was, or I would drink to put myself to sleep. There was always some reason really for drinking. Cocaine was my drug of choice, my main drug of choice. So yeah, it would be harder for me to be around the line of coke than alcohol. Yep, without a doubt. I don't like being around pills still, and it's been years. Oh, I don't blame you. It's got to be difficult as hell every day. Uh, and see, that's another thing about pills. Pills are so dangerous. It's kind of like cocaine. See, a lot of addicts don't use because they don't want people knowing they use. They don't want to be caught relapsing. You know, I know a lot of addicts that have used. We see them on here on YouTube all the time. They still use or they have used, but since nobody found out about it or it wasn't easily provable, they just continue on saying, I'm going to give you an example, Stacks. Now you take Johnny Mac. Johnny Mac, even though he says he's clean and sober, he's open about his continued drug use because he's that stupid. Stacks will tell you every time you see him that he's got 4,998 days clean. But we've seen him on here numerous times under the influence. Could we prove it? Of course not. How? We can't take his blood or make him do a urine fucking test, right? But we've seen it with our own eyes. But they can get away with it, especially on here, because you can't if you see what I'm getting at. If it's alcohol, you can't smell it on them. If it's drugs, you can't do a blood test. Lee claims to have been clean and sober for months now. We see his pupils dilated, pinned, and this is a guy with a past, at least past opioid addiction, which means, when you see his pupils pinned, it's because his opiate addiction is he's still active. Okay. Now I know they'll say, oh, you're using your addiction recovery show to bash people. No, I'm not. I'm pointing out, I'm an honest guy. I'm pointing out situations on here where people have told us they're clean and sober, but we know for a fact from things we've seen that we used or that they used. With Lee, we could see it in his eyes. With Stacks, we could see it in his behavior. But even in personal life, the reason why I think more people it's easier for people or an easier choice to relapse on something like pills or cocaine is because you can't necessarily tell. Anybody could slip a pill, and unless it really fucks them up, nobody's going to even know they took that pill. Cocaine, same thing. If you're a lifelong cocaine user, you've been sober and clean for a few years, and then you take a little bit of coke, nobody's going to know. It's not going to change your behavior. It's not like it's something that could be smelled on you or nothing like that. Unless you're on probation or something, they're going to take your fucking blood. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier to get away with. It's not like drinking. If you relapse on alcohol, like let's just say today I went out and drank a good bit, liquor, because that's my, I don't drink beer like that. And I came home to Shanna within the next few hours. She's going to see it on me. She's going to see my behavior changed. She's going to see it in my eyes, and she's going to smell it on me. There's no way around. You just can't get away with it. There's ways, of course. Sure, you could probably sneak one drink and just, brush your teeth 900 times, take a bunch of fucking breath mints, whatever, shit like that. But you can't really, really use alcohol without being found out. Something like cocaine, you could sneak it. Pills, you could sneak it. That's why it makes it harder not to relapse, I think, because a lot of people, they're only, like I said, when I went to rehab, I was the only person there, except for maybe one other woman. I can't remember with her. out of 13 people who I was the only one that I know for sure was there on his own volition. I put myself there. Everybody else was forced to be there by their spouse, by their kids, by their job, whatever. Okay, so um, people like that, most likely, if they could sneak something, since they never really wanted to get clean and sober to begin with, they will. You know, because a lot of people are only sober for other people. You got to be sober for yourself, too. I am so OCD and such a nut in my brain, and I have such a guilty conscience that if I used anything, I wouldn't be able to look anyone in the eyes and say I have X amount of clean time. You know what I mean? And it would eat me alive that even if I could get other people to believe it, that I know. You know what I mean? I would know I was lying. I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's so important for me, for my sobriety and clean time, to be spotless, to be pristine. That's why I won't take CBD for anxiety, none of that. I won't smoke weed. I won't take a benzo. No, there's too many people like the Johnny Macs of the world will take 900 different drugs a day and then say, well, since none of those were his drug of choice, he's still clean and sober. No, you're not. Clean and sober means just that, clean and sober. If I take a piss test today, are they going to find a controlled substance in my system? No. If Johnny Mac does, are they? Yes. That's it. There's the methadone, there's the marijuana, there's the fucking pills, there's the alcohol, you know? So there's that. Anyway, that was probably a really, really, really long answer to an earlier question. No, it's not erectile dysfunction, Albaz. It's the complete and total opposite. They used to call it trazoboner. That's what trazodone used to be called. I don't know what they changed in that drug, but the first time I ever took it, let's just say I would wake up a certain way, and no matter what I did for the next couple of hours, I could not change it. You know, I could not make it go away, so to speak. It's a fucking nightmare. It really is. What the F? $10. Thanks for doing these shows, FBS. Thank you. What the F? Thank you for the $10 and for what you said, because that makes me that tells me that these shows are important to you, and that means a lot to me. Yeah, I never played any of those except for GTA. I'll tell you the other game I was into, man, on PlayStation 2, Gun, that fucking like Wild West game. Oh my God, I love that fucking game. I love that shit. But I can't find the time. There's times where I would love to just go get like a Grand Theft Auto game and hook up the PlayStation 5. I've never even used one of those. I can't even imagine what the graphics and shit are like. And just play for a few hours, but I don't even have the time. Why, Miss Can't Be Wrong? What I say? Text me because next time when you answer, by the time I get to that comment, I'll have forgotten. Oh yeah, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Hell yeah. Yeah, what's the date? The 26th. So as of the 21st of this month, I have, what is it? 46 months. So on the 21st of April, I had 46 months clean. On the 21st of June will be 4 years. That's amazing. I'm very, very proud of that. Even though I'm somebody who, I'm very hard on myself and even other people, I feel as though, I don't know, to an extent, I feel stupid saying I'm proud of my clean time because in my mind, I should be proud if I never used drugs or alcohol to begin with, but still, I overcame something as many of you did. And that's something to be proud of. This can't be wrong. I think you'll be a success at recovery, FBS. You have your life all the way together. You've completely turned your back on that lifestyle and held on to nothing from it. No, I really didn't. Nothing. I even the people, like I said, I still talk to old connects of mine and stuff like that and shit. You know what I mean? And that's, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. The only way not to is to completely cut off everybody in my life, because every single friend of mine was a drug dealer. So it's almost impossible to not be talking to. If it wasn't an old connect of mine, it's somebody who's still on the street selling drugs. But I'm not around them like that. You don't see me at their houses. You know what I mean? These stupid motherfuckers will be like, how come FBS is never with his friends? I'll give you one guess. Why do you think? There was two crowds of friends I had. The crowd that sold the drugs and the crowd that did the drugs. It's not good for me to be around either. Do I have love for them? Would I be there for them in a heartbeat if they needed me? Fucking right. Do I talk to them on the phone all the time? Sure. Am I around them? No. No. Nope. I I just stay away. You know what I'm saying? I stay away. It's better for me. I want to be completely and totally detached from that street life. And I want to be completely and totally uh, free from addiction and everything that goes with it. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm around people using drugs. I don't want to be in a situation where I might be tempted to grab a couple ounces of coke and start hustling again, because trust me, not a day goes by. Fuck using it. I don't miss using it. Selling it, I miss. The constant 24-hour a day adrenaline rush, waking up with $20 in your pocket and then going to sleep with 4,000. It's amazing. Going out to the mall and spending a thousand or two on clothes or jewelry and then making it back 60 minutes later. It's fucking, it's a temptation all too strong for me. So I don't hang around old friends. I don't. I absolutely don't. Lee faked a heart attack to avoid a drug test. Yeah, listen, I'm not on here to bash either one of them. I'm pointing out the obvious. If you have told me in the past that you have an opiate addiction, you are addicted to pain pills, and then every day I see you on YouTube, your pupils are pinned. There's no other excuse. I don't want to hear the bright light thing, because guess what? I got a fucking super bright ring light right in front of me. You could probably see, look, you could see it in my fucking glasses. And look at my eyes. No pinned pupils. So when I see that, I don't have to wonder if you're on opiates. I know it for a fact. When Stax came on here one time and he was, like this and slurring his words, FBS, Gunsmoke, man, what's up, man? And his eyes are half closed and he's nodding. I don't have to wonder if he's doing dope. I know for a fact he is. So yeah, I have a problem with people who go out there bragging about when they're clean, how long they've been clean and sober, when I can see with my very eyes that they're using. To me, it's a form of stolen valor. Johnny Mac can't compare his fucking clean time to mine. You know why? I'm clean, he's not. Johnny, just because you're not doing heroin does not mean you're clean. You're doing methadone. You're smoking weed. All that. These are all drugs, dickhead. Clean and sober means just that. Clean and sober. Period. No substances in your body. No drug use. No alcohol use. No mind-altering substances of any kind. Then you're clean and sober. And there's people who agree with me. I've had people in here. I think Wise Guy TV even said it. He smokes weed, therefore he doesn't call himself clean and sober, even though he's taken himself off everything else. So that's just the way I see it. You know what I mean? And it does. It pisses me off a little bit because people like me and a lot of the people in my chat work hard at their sobriety and take pride in the fact that they've been able to turn their lives around and not use anything. And then you got these other fucking people coming on here high as a kite telling you that they're just as clean and sober as you are. It's aggravating. It is. It is. It's not about bashing anyone, guys. I'm an honest dude. Will I call somebody out even in an addiction and recovery show? Yes. Yes, especially if you're somebody like Lee or Johnny Mac or Stax who has time and time again called me a drug addict, a junkie, and accused me of using when I'm not. So, and the only reason I'm saying this is because I know what they'll say. See, he even bashed somebody during an addiction and recovery show. No, I didn't. I told the truth about you. That's what I do. Oh my God, of course I did. Miss Can't Be Wrong, of course I did. That day that I woke up, yeah, Miss Can't Be Wrong, woke up with a 10. That day that I woke up in that hotel, most people would have been thrilled. I woke up next to one of the baddest 20-year-old bitches I've ever seen in my fucking life. And just so she could tell me everything we had done together in the past 4 days while I was in a complete blackout. Most people would be like, damn, maybe I should keep using. Not me. I felt fucking terrible. The withdrawal from the alcohol and the fucking extreme hangover from this 4 day long binge I was on. Oh my God, I was so fucking sick. I remember asking her, "Can you get me a drink?" I couldn't even get out of bed. She went and made me some drink. It was like some fucking strong ass tequila or something that one of the other guys in the hotel had left behind the night before or something, and she mixed it with some shit. I downed that shit so quick it didn't change a thing. Like I would have had to drink all day just to fucking feel better. There was no liquor available to me. I couldn't. I just had to be in that room suffering from that fucking alcohol withdrawal and that fucking terrible hangover, feeling like death. And I just had to think, holy fuck, I just missed 4 days of work. I'm in here with this chick I don't even know. From Adam, I don't even know who the fuck she is, how she got here. You know, she's telling me I did all these things over the last 4 days. I don't even remember. Uh, all kinds of crazy shit. I said, that's it. This is it. I'm either going to live now or I'm going to die now. That's it. I had previous to that, just in the prior month, I had tried to kill myself like 4 or 5 fucking times. I was done. So that was it. I was going to rehab that day and I was not going to fail at it. And I didn't. I didn't. I told you, everybody I was in that rehab with that I've kept in touch with, they've all relapsed. And I'm not knocking them for that. It's a part of recovery. People relapse. I'm just saying that the reason they relapsed and I didn't is because I chose to get better and they were forced to get better. You can't force someone to get better. You can't. There's nothing you could do. You can offer them help, but if they don't take it, you could try a few more times. You could nag the fuck out of them, but eventually you got to come to the realization that even if you're successful at forcing them somehow, which is pretty difficult, you can't force anybody to do anything. At least not grown adults. If you force them to do it, they're gonna use as soon as they get a chance. They're gonna get out of rehab, even if they stay, which they don't have to unless they're court ordered, and they're gonna use again right away. There's nothing you can do about it. If people want to be clean and sober, they will be clean and sober. If they don't, they won't. That's it. So, yeah, I don't cut no corners, Miss Can't Be Wrong. Fuck that. You know me, guys. I'm a perfectionist. Look how I am with the show. Even this show. I feel like I've answered questions a couple of times, not exactly how I wanted to. I wanted to fucking take this show and delete it and act as if it never happened, just because that's how OCD I am. uh, I'm crazy like that. I am an absolute fucking perfectionist to a T. I'm like that with DJing. When I was a skateboarder, I was like that with that. You name it. I'm a perfectionist, and I am a perfectionist with my sobriety. It's all or nothing, you know? Good, Steve. I'm sorry you've been going through shit, man. Enjoy your cigar, bro. I haven't smoked a cigar in probably a month and a half. You believe that shit? My beautiful heated, well, not heated, temperature control, whatever the fuck it is. My beautiful humidor Don bought me, $350 gorgeous humidor. It's, what do you call it? It's like it's heated and cooled, depending, however you want it. I got it at 72 degrees. The humidity is probably at about 70, 68, something like that. Filled with cigars, and I haven't smoked one. Crazy. Yeah, well, to get out of the drug, yeah, well, we won't get into that. Like I said, not trying to bash the dude, just trying to point something out. Steve Cutler, 9.99. These shows are priceless, even if you're not dealing with an addiction. Congrats, FBS, on your success and sobriety. Respect, my friend. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, man. That means a lot to me, bro. You're a good man too. Steve's my brother, without a doubt. Thanks for the 9.99 too. I have no audience with Stacks. I'm clean, man, and I ain't gonna start fucking with him like that. This can't be wrong. If you are smoking, drinking, taking methadone, not clean, not sober. Yep. Period. Been there before. FBS blackouts like a motherfucker. Oh yeah, man, it's a nightmare. You never had a cigar, Albert? Well, a lot of alligators haven't. It's not really an alligator thing to smoke cigars, but you should try one. Bust out a sin compromiso. You've earned it, FBS. I think I'm going to. I have 8 or 9 of them, something like that, still left in my beautiful humidor. Yeah, I think I'm gonna today. I better do it soon too, because the police are coming. They are gonna take me away, and they are gonna extradite me to North Carolina. So be prepared, guys. My time has come. I'm going to jail. Tony Pizza called the cops on me, and I think me and SoFlo will probably be in jail together. He's going to be extradited from Florida. I'm going to be extradited from PA. And I'm probably going to need, I don't know, we'll see how much bail is. I probably got it covered, but Shanna might have to do a fundraiser. I already had one person reach out who lives right there and said, don't worry, bro. If you get locked up, I got bail money. I said, don't worry, I'm not getting locked up. Fuck out of here. You know, just to get on that for a second, because I'm about to end the show anyway, just to address the pizza thing, and then I'll do a whole show on it tonight. This goes to show once again that I'm just not the type of person who calls cops. I was going through, after I saw that he called the police, I was going through all the videos I have where Tony Pizza blatantly threatened to kill me, to torture me, to burn my house down, to hurt my family, to hurt Tina, to hurt Tony, to hurt Gunsmoke. And this asshole, when he was talking about calling the cops, he showed the name of the person and the email address of the person he's speaking to at the Moorhead City Police Department. Now, you know how easily I could have put all that together and sent it to her? And I should. I absolutely should. I just don't have it in me. But I'll tell you what, if I'm even contacted about this shit, then I might. But I won't be. No worries. He threatened me just yesterday. Well, this is what I did. As soon as I heard this was going on, I broke out my old laptop and I downloaded damn near every video he's made in the last month or two. So I don't even have. I mean, the clips I have, there's probably at least dozens of others. I didn't even screen record yet when I go through those videos. So yeah. Who's pizza? Oh, Tom Sheehy, what's up, bro? Good to see you. You think pizza has dementia, huh? I don't know. No. I think it's very simple. I think that he's a spoiled brat, and nothing he does matters. He remembers. It just doesn't matter. In his mind, it's okay because he did it. You got to understand, he's constantly convincing himself that he's the victim, and all he's doing is striking back. So it's whatever he does in his mind is okay. Anyway, I didn't want to get on that, but that's it, guys. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I hope this show was good. I feel like I fucked it all up in the last 45 minutes or so. I hope not. I'm very very hard on myself about, especially the addiction recovery videos. But I'm no professional speaker. I'm no genius. I just do my best. You know. Don't be afraid to try new cigars. I've as many great cigars I've sent you to be smoked, but Sin Compromiso will always be top notch. You ain't kidding, bro. No, I love everything you've sent me. The only cigars I don't like, this is going to sound crazy, are cigars that taste like cigars. I think you know what I mean. Traditional cigars that smell and taste like those old, nasty, fucking shitty, raggedy old, you know, 50-cent cigars that like our fucking great grandparents used to smoke and shit. You know what I mean? I don't, every now and then I'll get one that tastes like a straight cigar and I want to throw up. I want to, and if you guys don't know what I mean, try a Sin Compromiso sometime. Once you get past the second, uh, well, once you get, I'll say at least halfway, it has a completely and totally different taste. You wouldn't even know you're smoking a cigar. Yeah, cheap cigars are terrible. Yeah. So you got to get past that first third, I think, and then it changes. Uh, thanks, Ward. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Write these numbers down, okay? Yeah, Steve Cutler, they do. But you know what I mean, Steve? The Sin Compromiso, at first it does taste like a cigar. But once you get into it a little bit, you start to get that spice and that like cinnamon almost flavor. And it just, oh my God, it's fucking amazing. It's amazing. Guys, write these numbers down: National Addiction Hotline, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. And keep them on you. You know what I mean? Pin them to a wall or use a magnet and put them on your refrigerator. I don't know. Put them in your glove box. Put them in your pocket, your wallet, your man bag, your purse, your fucking fanny pack. If you're a kangaroo, put them in your pouch. Whatever, and just keep them close by. Keep those numbers close by in case you ever need them. Uh yes, that's Tony in a nutshell. Yep. Thank you guys. I hope you all enjoyed this, and please, everybody, stay strong throughout your recovery process. And if you ever need to reach out to me, fatballeditalian at gmail, I'll do whatever I can to help you. And that's it. Uh, thank you all for being here. I love you guys. And until, I don't know, 9 o'clock or so, salute.